Uhuru, welcome back. Welcome back, Kundai.
Uhuru, Comrade Matsamela. We bike. We bike.
I hope you got a little something inside your stomach.
I'll get too sleepy if I do that. And I don't want to miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing. It's been incredible so far. So I know we just got the Facebook back started. So we need some people to come on back. Make sure you continue to repost it and get other people involved in on the Facebook. Since we are live there, you can share it. We want to welcome everybody back.
Exactly. Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back. Make sure you are inviting your friends, your family, to hear these dynamic reports that are being put forward. Um, First off, I would like to make an announcement on Zoom translation for the people to use Zoom's translation. To use the Zoom translation feature, please click on the globe icon that you see at the bottom right of your Zoom window. So click on the globe icon that you see at the bottom right of your Zoom window for translation. Interpretation underneath of it, but that's what you should click on if for translation. On that note, let's bring up a video.
Matsamela, if
Yeah.
if I may, comrade, I really want to appreciate the party right now and salute the chairman so far for the political report, and also say that we're talking about interpretations for this plenary, and I think that really speaks to just the level of organization that our movement and party has, because we have comrades viewing from all over the world. So just appreciate everybody coming back, whether it's again breakfast time where you are, lunchtime where I'm at, and dinner time on the other side of the world. So just even and salute to Agipop for even having this translation feature, because we have comrades from all over and we all don't speak the same language. So I think this is really amazing and really speaks to the development and growth of our party. And so yeah, so we organizing Africans all over. We need everybody to get involved in this. And I just really salute everybody. And we are needing our translators to be present, and we're going to play a video from the Secretary General, Louise Kinshasa, to translate.
Uhuru. Pour utiliser la fonction de traduction Zoom, veuillez cliquer sur l'icône du globe que vous voyez en bas à droite de la fenêtre Zoom. Uhuru.
All right, Matsamela, go ahead and announce the next one.
Oh, everybody. Now let's welcome Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshatella and her amazing office for the workshop on building a liberated worldwide independent African economy. Here we'll have our annual appeal and appreciation, building our liberated economy from love to revolution. You see, I put on my red hat for love. From love to revolution, the appeal and appreciation. We will now turn it over to Chara Masimba and Nzeye Masimba from the Office of the Deputy Chair, Onazane Yeshatella.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, can you see us?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great. Okay, because I can't see anybody.
We can see you.
We can only see part of T'Challa.
That's better.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
All right, we're super close now. Okay. Uhuru, everybody. We'd like to start by saluting Chairman Omali Yeshatella, who is the leader of the African nation. We want to salute the plenary so far and everybody that's joining.
Our second party, I want to quote the political report, which says...
Wait. And we also want to salute Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshatella, who is our direct leadership.
Sorry about that. So to quote the political report, quote, our second plenary of the party's 7th Congress opens with the urgent call for African workers of the world to unite and organize. Crisis after crisis compounds toward the point of no return, becoming qualitative transformation, the point where the uneasy equilibrium turns into the destruction of colonial capitalism and the victory for the colonized nations and toiling masses of the world. Peoples of the world over must, as a condition for continued existence, fight to regain control of our ability to produce life for ourselves. Comrades, it is toward this ultimate goal of capturing our ability to reproduce real life for ourselves that we present this appeal workshop under the theme From Love to Revolution.
All right, and this part of the plenary is so important because of all of the work that's being done right now, in part because of all of the work that's being done right now on the ground here in St. Louis, but not just here in St. Louis, but all over the world where the party and the party's institutions are. The donations and the contributions that are given through not just reparations, but through Africans, just redefining Africans 1 billion strong, and the whole idea of us contributing to our own freedom and liberation and how that looks. The party is really changing the game and defining history. So this part is so essential to the plenary process.
So we would like to kick off this workshop with a slideshow highlighting some of the victories, only some of the victories for the party-led victories of 2020. All right.
So Huru.
And this is brought to you by Africans 1 billion strong. Next. All right, the theme of this presentation is 2021, building our own liberated economy.
So in 2020, we see the crisis of imperialism manifest as a worldwide pandemic. And Chairman Omali Yeshitela declares the coronavirus as the colonial virus. And it's a pandemic that is not a health crisis, but a political crisis. And he goes on to lead the Vanguard Party to fight the political crisis head on. Next. People's War Commission was formed by chairman and deputy chair. Next. So the chairman addresses the African nation once and sometimes twice a week, conducting Omali Taught Me weekly, the address to the African nation and interviews on radio shows and more. What this did was, and what it's doing, it really deepens the theory of African internationalism. It defines the fight as one against colonialism, and it is definitely building cadre. Next. APSP NCC forwards African workers' power through deepening dual power by Black Unk and going into the community. Next. The Department of Agitprop grows the capacity for spreading African internationalism, and that's done by the writers team, social media, website development, People's War podcast, and radio show. These were launched and led by the Department of Agitprop. Next. ASI goes live in French and Lingala and builds in Europe and Africa. Next. All institutions were closed within 24 hours under the directive of Deputy Chair. Other victorious strategies are moved on right away. The regions go to the people and utilize the hubs to carry out the work, as Deputy Chair leads the ODC in guerrilla warfare. Next. Led by the Uhuru NTU Volunteer Brigade, phone banking was organized to check in on every contact to make sure they and their families were doing okay during COVID-19. And we did this because we know that the people are everything. Next. The Mighty Grants team, it moved forward, securing state funds and reparations from foundations. Next. So Black Star Industries incorporated Uzi, Decolonase, and Uhuru Planet, And now these economic entities are self-sufficient party organizations, and they also now have the benefits of BSI's LLC training and programs. Next. African National Women's Organization keeps growing their base through weekly activities, studies, book clubs, and webinars, and they also held an international convention on Zoom. Next. AppDepth's Black Unk provides dual power over health for our people, Ask the Doctor live episodes, and by request, nonstop webinars and cultural activities at Zenzele Consignment with live promotions and sales. Next. The broadsheet outreach teams in St. Louis go door to door into every business of wards 21 and 3. And Impedum appointed Matsamela Odom as vice chair, strengthening the organization as President Columbai runs for Alderwoman of Ward 3 in St. Louis. Next. Uhuru Furniture and Collectible launches their GoFundMe. The whole neighborhood and base of shoppers, furniture donors, and volunteers came out to keep the doors open. Next. Uhuru Pies expands with wholesaling and individual sales through corporate and foundation relationships. Production at its highest level with mixing, baking, and boxing 1,000 pies the same day for distribution at the Christmas with the Curries in the Oakland Coliseum, which proved to be a success. Next.
Moving on to St. Louis. Mr. Gary leads family and friends during pandemic to transform the outdoor venue into a vegetable garden, inspiring the community. Next. The Gary Brooks Black Power Community Garden continues and thrives during colonial virus, providing fresh food for community and inspiration for all. Next. The movement holds a press conference and demonstrations in cities around the world, across the world, as the murder of George Floyd becomes a tipping point leading to African resistance and mass demonstrations. Next. USM rapidly converts National Convention to Zoom event and replaces Days of Reparations tour with local marches. Next. APSC wins reparations and solidarity with online studies, webinars, promotions, and reparations legacy campaign. Next. Awakened by African resistance, volunteers, donors come forward. They provide expert skills coming to the African working class due to the leadership of the party. Architect and urban planner, professional promoters and fundraisers and filmmakers participate. Attending the NTU orientations and taking tours of the Black Power Blueprint make the difference. Next. The Uhuru NTU Volunteer Brigade consolidates the flood of volunteers into Uhuru brigades. Next. Humble Sea Brewery creates collaborative beer to raise funds, and Cliff Bar Foundation donates, all to keep the Black Power Blueprint projects going as foundations and businesses support African self-determination. Next. APEDF passes the goal of $25,000 from USM Telethon and UFC peer-to-peer fundraising. Next. The Black Power Blueprint captures more territory. Properties 4007 and 4009 West Florissant Avenue. Demolition paves the way for retail complex, possibly using shipping containers. The lot at 3771 West Florissant for health facility with special focus on African women's health is also secured. Next. Corrupt city officials are exposed for blocking the Black Power Blueprint urban plan. The Black Power Blueprint is negating the colonial economy and the counterinsurgency. Next. Paradigm Builders, sponsoring with the Black Power Blueprint, give the highest standard of work for the community. Next. Passing the keys to architect Dwayne Thompson for measuring Uhuru Jiko, while the kitchen designer creates the plans. Next. The Black is Back Coalition courageously challenges the colonial elections in the Black People's March on the White House. 2020 sees electoral schools and working groups on political prisoners, Black community control of education, the police, and African health, and more. Next. We are winning. We will win. Party candidates Chichara Masimba and Columbayi Bentham build a movement and define all questions of life for African working class. Next. The APSP regional strategy builds the organizational capacity for the African Revolution. That's what the Vanguard does. Next. Build the African Socialist International, comrades. Forward to 2023, the 8th Party Congress, and none other than Occupied Azania. Uhuru, and thank you.
Uhuru, thank you. So now what we want to do is we would like to introduce the donor appreciation team that will be saluting our donors, and we'll get to see exactly what the donors are going to get. So we'll get to see the gifts, the give back. So first, I would like to introduce Matope, who is the chair of the Buy Black Power campaign. We'll also hear from Bakari, who is the West Coast APSP representative. Kota is Black Power Blueprint social media team. Ali, who is Buy Black Power is on the Buy Black Power campaign. And then Zanlile, who is Black Power Blueprint social media team. So I just want to welcome all of them, and you will hear from all of them at this time.
All right, and Matope, you are up.
I think Matope's having a little issue with her camera right now. I saw it in the chat.
Uhuru, I'm here.
All right, Uhuru, Matope, there you are.
Uhuru. Thank you, comrades. Uhuru, everyone. I want to salute this powerful plenary so far. I can't wait to see the what's coming. Next slide. I'm honored to present special gifts to the following APSP NCC members, appreciating their leadership in their 2020 donations. Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshitela, Secretary General Luwezi Kinshasa, Director of Department of Agitation and Propaganda, Akile Nai, National Director of Organization, Chimaranga Simlambao, Director of the All African Peoples Development and Empowerment Project, Dr. Aisha Fields, President of the African National Women's Organization, Yejide Oranila, President of the International Democratic People's Uhuru Movement, Columbayi Andanet, Southern Regional Representative, Kobina Bantu Shango, West Regional Representative, Bakari Olatunji, and Midwest Western Regional Representative, Malika Ngweji. Next slide, please. And here are a specially crafted African print masks by Mapati Diop Company. Next slide. And we extend a special tribute to our leadership, Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshitela, with gifts of Malcolm X clocks designed by Prayitno Widido from Indonesia in the WPAP style. Next slide. We salute African Socialist International Secretary General Luwezi Kinshasa in Europe and Director of Organization Tafari Mugeri, APSP Chair in Occupied Azania, Comrade Asa, and all the comrades in the regions in Occupied Azania, West Africa, and East Africa for all they do against all odds. Next slide.
Now we want to salute and acknowledge the Omali Yeshitela level donors for their significant contribution to African liberation. Our Omali Yeshitela level donors are Maureen, Mark, Ruby, and Janice, who have donated from a commitment to reparations. Next slide. They will be receiving the African print mass by Diop, Malcolm X Clocks, and a signed copy of the chairman's political report to this plenary. Next slide. We want to recognize our Kwame Nkrumah level donors. One is anonymous, and we have Redbeard, Adrian, Lisa, and Dan, and we will be mailing Malcolm X Clocks and Diop Mass. Next slide. We also want to recognize our Harriet Tubman level donors. They are Marcus, Harrison Christian, James, Chairwoman Penny, Kitty, and Allison. You'll be getting beautiful Diop made masks. Next slide.
Thank you to all of our other donors who contributed in 2020. You are the backbone for building this liberated anti-colonial economy. You are the 1 billion strong.
Oh, thank you. Many of you have donated monthly for years, and so many new people responded to the calling in 2020. We salute you and your stance for African self-determination and reparations. We will be mailing everyone your appreciation gift of a beautiful African mask from Zenzele Consignment right away. Now I'm gonna just go through a few names for our Baker level. And I'm gonna start with Cara, Chairman O'Malley, Yeshitela, Charles and Inez, Deputy Chair Owner Janae, Dorothy, Janet, Jesse, Kate, Leah, Mattoon, Paul, Pete, Rashida, Stephanie. Those are all our Baker levels. These are all our other levels. Abdullah, Abdul, Aisha, Akili, Alex, Allison, Amanda, Anthony, Antonio, Bakari, Barbara, Becky, Bethany, Betty, Bunker, Bawana, hope I said that right, Charles, Christopher, Devin, Dexter, Diane, Fofi, Falasa, Gloria, Grace, Grady, Halo, Jackson, Jamal, James, Jean, Janine, and Jesse. Next slide. Next, please. I think. Cody, I think.
Well, aren't there some more names, comrade?
Yeah, but I think you supposed to do them. I do them all.
Well,
I wasn't told to do them all. I mean, I can.
Well, I mean, I think there's still more on your list, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, but it's still all right. Jessica, my apologies. Jessica, Joel, Johanna, Josh, Judy, Julia, June, Kabula, Columbae, Karen, Casey, Kobina, Cal, Latrina, Lisa, Logan, Lorenz.
Ali, this is my list now.
Okay.
Uhuru, thank you, comrade. So this is the rest of the list here. We have Lorenz, Lorraine, Lynn Stewart Organization, MQ, Madeline, Magdalene, Malika, Marge, Marissa, Matope, Max, Michael, Nasir, Angoni, Nina, Anzai, Olivia, Opa, Paul and Paula, Rain, Rashida, Raymond, Regina, Renee, Raya, Renzalea, Robert, Rocky, Ronald, Sadie, Samantha, Sandra, Santosh, Suchas, Thomas, Tia, Tacharwa, Virginia, Wendy, a different Wendy, Xavier, and Zachary. We want to thank all of you. And now I want to turn it back to Nzei and Tacharwa. Uhuru.
Uhuru. So want to really appreciate that portion and just want to salute all of our donors. And those gifts are amazing. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to using Tachar's gifts. All right, so at this point, we want to go ahead and move forward with a very important part of this presentation. So want to look at the 2021 donor levels.
Right. So we would like to kick off the 2021 Donor Pledge Drive. From Love to Revolution, brought to you by Africans 1 Billion Strong Donor Campaign. So the theme of this presentation is 2021, Building Our Own Liberated Economy, from Love to Revolution. Next. So our goal today is to raise $100,000 for the 2021 pledge. Donor Drive Pledge.
Woo!
Can we do it?
We can do it.
We can do it, y'all. Let's go. Next slide. So we want to first take a look at the donor levels. Let's look at the donor levels. Next. All right. So the first donor level is the Chairman Omali Ishitela donor level, which includes those who would like to donate $25,000 or more annually. The chairman is quoted as saying, "Revolutionaries are optimistic. We can actually envision a new world. It is we who will not allow our vision for the future to be determined by what is real today." So this can be divided into monthly pledges of $2,083 per month. And next. So next we have the Patrice Lumumba level. This is for donors at the $10,000 to $24,999 annually. And Lumumba says, quote, "Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another people as a gift. They claim it as their own, and no one can keep it from them. So this can be achieved by $10,000 annually or $833 a month." Next. So next we have the Kwame Nkrumah level from $5,000 to $9,999. And Nkrumah says, "United by a single spirit, a single aspiration, and a single heart, we shall turn Africa into a genuinely free and independent continent in the immediate future." And this can be achieved with only $417 a month. Next. And none other than Harriet Tubman, who says, "On my Underground Railroad, I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." This pledge is at $2,000 to $4,999 or $167 a month. Next. We have the incredible Ella Baker, who, as I understand, was a friend and comrade of Chairman Omali Ishitela.
And she's quoted saying, "Remember, we are not fighting for the freedom of the Negro alone, but for the freedom of the human spirit, a larger freedom that encompasses all mankind. And the Ella Baker level is $500 to $1,999 annually, which could be as low as $42 per month. Next. And then we have the Fannie Lou Hamer level. Quote from Fannie Lou Hamer is action, self-reliance, the vision of self and the future have been the only means by which the oppressed have seen and realized the light of their own freedom. This level can be annual. The annual amount for this level is $366 to $499 annually, but that's as low as $31 to $42 contributed monthly. Next slide. Have the Marcus Garvey level, which is $365 annually or $1 a day. And the quote from Marcus Garvey is, day by day, we hear the cry of Africa for the Africans. This cry has become a positive, determined one. It is a cry that is raised simultaneously the world over because of the universal oppression that affects the Negro. Next slide. Next, we have the Desi X Woods level, which is $20 a month or a $240 annual contribution. Desi Woods was sentenced to 22 years in prison for killing a white man in Georgia with her own gun, all colonized African people. Free Desi Woods, smash colonial violence. Next slide. Next, we have the Deputy Chair on the Zanaya Shatella level, which is $10 a month or $120 a year. And Deputy Chair is quoted saying, we demand the value of our resources that we have produced over the centuries up until today, recapturing the resources that belong to African people, both human and material, speaks to the question of mass liberation. That is to free the people, free the African nation. Next slide. Next, we have the Mustafa Musa Abantu level, which is $5 a month or $60 a year. And we hear quote Musa saying, the Black Power Blueprint is an inspiration for the African working class. We're turning abandoned buildings into centers of Black self-determination, giving youth a vision of the future where we Africans have our rightful place as a free people. And I want to say long live for Musa.
Long live.
Uhuru. Next slide. So how do we give to Chara?
Well, first, you can make your pledge at apspuhuru.org/pledge. That is apspuhuru.org/pledge. We'll announce your first name and the city along with your pledge, unless you let us know that you want to remain anonymous. So there is a way for you to tell us that you want to remain anonymous. No worries. You can also pay with credit card. You can set up recurring donations to start any day of the month. All you have to do is give us your message of support or tribute and tell us why you are donating to express your love for the revolution.
So if you don't love that option or any of those options with the website, you can go to you can call us. You can call us at 727-821-6620 to make your 2021 pledge. We do have people standing by right now ready to take your contribution and set you up for your 2021 pledges. Or if you have any questions or run into any problems making your contributions, please feel free to email donate@apspuhuru.org. Next slide. Another way to give, huh? All right, so you can make checks payable to Black Star Industries. Mail those checks to Black Star Industries, care of the Uhuru House at 1245 18th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33705.
Or if you have any problems or any questions at any point in this process today, as was stated, we have people standing by waiting to take your call or email. You can call us at 727-821-6620. That is 727-821-6620, or email us at donate@apspuhuru.org. And we will help you make your pledge to the African Revolution.
Next slide.
Right, so donate today from love to revolution. Uhuru.
Uhuru. So we're talking about this from love to revolution, right?
All right.
So to try, do you love me?
What's that?
Do you love me?
I think that's a great question. Yeah, let me answer that for you. You know, we have heard today in the political report a testament to our struggle to produce and reproduce real human life.
Wait, I said, do you love me?
Well, what I'm saying is that as African internationalists, we say that this struggle to produce and reproduce real life is in fact the motive force of history. You see?
Yeah, that's real deep, but do you love me?
Of course I do. You know,
okay.
And what I'm saying is that all human activity is centered around this fundamental struggle. You see? So what is that other than love?
I don't know. I don't know what you call it love. I just asked you, it was a yes or no question.
Yes, I do love you. And it is the motive force, often called instinct, that a mother feels for her child. It's the force that expresses itself as a blink when an object approaches your eye, or as a block when something targets you or threatens your existence.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the motivating force compelling us to study the world so that we can predict the future.
Mm-hmm. Predicting the future, that's tight. But what does that have to do with the real world?
Well, I guess I'm trying to say is that this is the motivating force that leads us to chart the seasons so that we can ensure a successful yield, so that the people can survive. This is the motivating force that compels us to become African internationalists, to lift the veil of our 600-year oppression, to free our colonized and African people. You see?
Yeah, so what he's saying, y'all, I mean, you know, like, let me put it in English, like in my own language. So you saying that this is the motivating force that makes us want to do the Marvin Gaye. This is the force that makes us want to be one with each other. This is the force that makes us connect emotionally. It's the thing that makes me want to hang in there when you get on my last nerve.
I guess so, if you want to be all philosophical and stuff.
I'm deep too. So, yeah, it's not easy being a revolutionary.
And it is not easy being the husband of a revolutionary.
But our love for each other.
And ultimately, our love for a just and free society.
And our love for freedom is the recognition of an innate drive to fight to ensure the continuation of life.
And ultimately, that is why we're here today. The continuation of life.
Yeah, that's why we fight. African workers of the world, unite and organize.
From love to revolution. From love to revolution.
From love to revolution.
All right.
Girl. All right, so yeah, I hope y'all understood what T'Challa was saying.
Or what Nze was saying.
But we want to invite some more couples up to give their definition of love, from love to revolution. So the first couple that we would like to bring up, it's gonna be
Yejit Day
and Kingozi. Uhuru.
Uhuru comrades, how you doing?
All right.
Oh, plenary participants and attendees. Uhuru. This is all this love right here is happening because I love my people and I love this guy here, this comrade. And our love is primarily based in this movement. You know, we met through African internationalism. We found love for our people, and you know, he was attracted to me not because I was cute, but he said I was a powerful African leader, and that was what attracted him primarily. And I was attracted to him because we met during a what was it? The cadre school, and I wasn't feeling him at first, and then I saw how he would go and do outreach. We were on an outreach team, and he would go in and just be like, he would just go to everybody in the community. He would just walk up to them like they was his brother. And I thought that was just so winning. You know, I just thought that like he had no facade, just a genuine African who loved African people and wanted to organize them and us. And yeah, that's what I saw from him. He can talk too.
Okay, the theme is love and revolution, but for me, it was more revolution to love, because I didn't come to the party looking for a significant other, but that became my common bond, was the love for our people and our love for just being revolutionaries. You know, when I first met her, she was tasked to pick me up from the
1 minute.
From the train station, and I said my vows, it wasn't love at first sight, but I saw she was an extraordinary woman. And through the years, just meeting again at the cadre school, things came to a head, and here we are 3 years into marriage. Who'd ever thought? So that's revolution to love for me. Uhuru.
All right.
So next we have
Two.
Abdullah
And Malika.
We have to unmute too. We have to unmute too. And
Uhuru, comrade.
So here's the thing. In the article that Chairman wrote about African internationalism on love, then he said, we need to talk about some things. So let's talk about it. And it was talking about love for the people. Well, I developed my love for the people when I heard of the thing that went down in 1969. And I was only 8 years old, but I was drawn to that fight. But it was this guy that led me into a room where I knew nothing to expect and brought me into the movement and the love for revolution that I experienced today.
Uhuru Bukechi, Malika. I don't believe that you could do this work unless you have a profound revolutionary love for the people. I was 50 years old before my father ever told me that he loved me, you know, but I knew that he loved me because of the work that he put in, you know, so he proved his love, he showed his love, and that's how we do in the party, the African People's Socialist Party. We prove our love, our dedication by our commitment to the struggle, by making sure that our people are able to feed, house, and clothe ourselves. So I was in the colonial jails in prison, and one day they had a snowstorm. I think it was on Christmas. And so there was no movement, nobody went anywhere, but all of a sudden on the loudspeaker, they said, Alexander, somebody loves you. And you know, it was my wife, Malika, had come to see me in this snowstorm. And when I got up there to the visit room, I was the only one up there. So if love didn't motivate her to come out there to see, I don't know what it was, you know, but I was truly grateful. I'm truly grateful to the chairman and the deputy chairman for the tremendous sacrifice that they have shown and committed to the struggle. And being in the struggle, the chairman over 50 years, that ain't nothing but love. The brother been on the battlefield for 50 years, and that's love. And so, Uhuru, we love y'all. We appreciate it. I'm going to make the Musa Bantu Black Power Poetry and open mic pledge. I'm going to pledge the $60 for that, brother. What you going to do?
Yes, I'm going to make the pledge for the Desi Woods pledge. I'm going to double what I did last year.
Uhuru, that's what's up. That's love.
Uhuru, that's love.
Uhuru, thank you. That is love.
Uhuru, what a beautiful couple.
I was just saying
two beautiful couples.
They look cute.
All right. So who we got next?
Next we have Jesse.
And Amanda.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, We salute the African People's Socialist Party's historic plenary. It's a profound honor to participate in this workshop from love to revolution. Jesse and I are both proud members of the African People's Solidarity Committee, organizing white people for reparations under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party.
Uhuru, Amanda, it's great to be here with you as always, and this has been a beautiful workshop. I salute all of the members of the party who have spoken before us, and I salute this incredible plenary. And we want to begin by expressing our deepest revolutionary love and appreciation to Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Ona Zane Yeshitela, the leaders of the African Revolution.
And to all of the leaders and members of the African People's Socialist Party worldwide.
To the colonized and oppressed African workers and peasants who are fighting to liberate and reunify their dispersed African family and nation.
And to the indigenous people of the Americas who are fighting to recapture their stolen land, sovereignty, and freedom.
And to Chairwoman Penny Hess and all of the veterans of the African People's Solidarity Committee who have modeled the principled stand of white solidarity with Black power for over 4 decades.
We salute all of you because, as revolutionaries have said in the past, from Che Guevara to Chairman Omali Yeshitela, revolution is built on the deepest love imaginable.
As white people who met each other through our work in the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, we have been one to understand these powerful words from our chairman, Omali Yeshitela. He said, quote, "Every white aspiration and dream, every expectation for happiness and a good life, from a successful marriage to a secure future for their children, requires drone strikes in Pakistan, police murders and mass imprisonment in African colonies and barrios of the US, and starvation and forced displacement of the oppressed throughout the world."
The most iconic symbol of love between white people is the diamond, commodified suffering, a rock wrenched from the earth by colonized African people.
But the stand for reparations is a call from the African Revolution to us in the white community. We can reject the cynical, false, cheap, self-centered, commodified distortion of love that we idolize in white society. We can replace it with the true, unbreakable love that can only be found in the revolution. Love for the people, love for the party, love for our comrades, love for humanity.
So, if we love the people and if we love each other, then we must hate this parasitic social system. We must hate our own ruling class that oppresses and exploits the majority of humanity for our benefit.
And we can only express this love through reparations to the African Revolution.
And that's why I'm pledging reparations of $300 to the party this year.
And I will be pledging reparations of $1,200 to the African People's Socialist Party for this year.
And to all of the other white people who are watching, we say this: the only way to find true love is in unity through reparations.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Thank you, Jesse and Amanda. That
Well,
was great.
Powerful presentation.
It was.
Yeah.
Unity through
Reparations
Uhuru. So next we have Bakari.
and Suches. Uhuru.
Hey y'all, Uhuru.
Uhuru. We have Suches and Bakri, and for those of you who don't know, that's Suches and I'm Bakri. I just really want to appreciate this tremendous, magnificent process that we're a part of today. And I just want to salute Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Ona Yeshitela and all the leaders of the African People's Socialist Party. I just want to tell my side of the story before she gets up. And see, what had happened was I met her and she believes I recruited her into the party because I listened to Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass and all that other stuff. But what had happened was I had saw that she was unapologetically African. She was naming her children back in the 70s. I know I'm telling on age a little bit. In the 70s, she was naming her children with African names back then. And once I got wind of that and things like her bringing her family into the movement and her stance that she took, the resources that she's contributed, the hours that she's been up baking pies, selling pies, doing the work of the movement, that's what won me to her. So I just wanted to tell my side of the story to say that. But I know it is our love that we have for our African people that bonds us and holds us together. It ain't easy. Believe me, we have struggles all the time just because she thinks I recruited her just because of my nature as calling. We'll talk about that later on after the plenary is over tonight. But I just want to say I'm pledging this year. I want to do the Fannie Lou Hamer level, and that's going to be my commitment for this year. And I want to hear your side of the story.
Okay. Overall, this has been an awesome thing going on. You know, one of the things that I love about the revolution.
Uhuru, 1 minute.
I love what Barker is doing. That's what really got my attention more involved in here also. I look at how this is his very number one thing, even over his family, over his own children. And I love that about him. The fact, also, I will do my pledge as Marcus Garvey. Someone gave me a Marcus Garvey bag, and I said something about, well, I'm a Garveyite. So I think I will do the Marcus Garvey pledge. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
All right.
Right on.
Can't go wrong with Marcus Garvey.
Can't go wrong with Marcus Garvey level. We appreciate that. We appreciate you both. Uhuru. So next we have Matsamela
and Michelle Odom.
The Odoms. Uhuru.
Uhuru, everyone. Uhuru.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Matsamela. How you doing?
Looking good. You're looking good. I like that rap.
I like that hat and that smile.
Same. I was telling somebody about your beautiful smile and the gap in your tooth, and just how beautiful it is, and how you know, I guess your parents, you know, tried to get you braces, and your teeth was just like, nope. You're gonna keep that beautiful smile. So, all right, Uhuru, everybody. My name is Matsamela.
And my name is Michelle Odom. Uhuru, everyone. We're honored to be here today and really grateful to participate in this section. Yeah, I'm really moved by the couples who have shared before us, and really grateful for the chairman who has literally covered all aspects of our lives as African people, especially on the topic of love, which we'll be talking about today.
Yeah, it's because of this that Michelle and I are able to join one another in this way, to which is especially significant since we are not able to be physically in the same place right now.
So we're going to take a quote from the chairman's chapter, Not One Step Backwards on African Internationalism on Love. And here's the quote. But genuine love for the people means we do right. We hook up with the party and the revolution. We bring our understanding and experience to it. We push the process forward to liberate our people. We don't quit. We get tired, but we don't quit. Nkrumah says the gorilla fails only when he surrenders. Okay? But genuine love means that we don't quit. We don't even have the capacity to quit because we love ourselves and we push forward. So I'll talk briefly on this quote, what this means for me. It reminds me of what we're fighting for, the reasons why we stay, the reasons why we don't quit. The Uhuru movement has really given a new meaning to our love, because as a couple, sometimes when like the future seems very unsure, maybe even in the moment as comrades, we are very optimistic, and it's absolutely clear why we haven't quit. One of the things I really appreciate about Matsamela is your love for the people. And as a historian and of African history, it's clear that you love our people. And I think for those who know him, you know that you'll never walk away not learning something about yourself, which makes you love yourself a little more, maybe even a lot more. And so one of the things I know for certain is that our love and our struggles has always been rooted in the people, Matsamela. And I love you for that. I love you for your love of self, which ultimately is your love for me and love for the people. So from love to revolution and to a love that we will one day truly know. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thanks for that. I've known Michelle for almost 19 years now. Our relationship has taken many stages, first as friends. It is possible that I was the first African that she even met when she appeared on our college campus. I am surely happy for that fateful moment in which we passed each other in that stairway. Second, as
Uhuru, time.
and as a spouse, Lastly, salute to just our relationship as comrades. And as everybody said, importantly, the important thing about this struggle here is to produce value. Chairman said that the peoples the world over must, as a condition for our continued existence, fight to regain our control over our ability to produce value ourselves. So she does that, and really her codification of marriage and parenting, and also her work as a healer. So this is right, but we also like to take our cues from Chairman and Deputy Chair Onizane Shatella, who told us a story about how they had to spend 2 years apart while she was on the ground doing the work in St. Louis. So it's not easy for us to be apart, but it's in salute of that leadership that Deputy Chair and Michelle and I are happy to both pledge our support for the party at the Deputy Chair Onizane Shatella level.
Uhuru. Uhuru, comrade.
Uhuru, comrade. Yeah, and like I said, that's I'm happy just that we elevate our love to that level, you know, from just friends to spouses to comrades, which really is of love we can both show for each other.
Yes, right on.
Can we get a kiss?
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, man, we be kissing my old nasty phone. I'm surprised my lips ain't fell off. I be kissing my phone. Like ever since August, I be kissing my phone all the time. All right, give me. I'm like, wait a minute, you know, did I even wash my hands and clean my hands first? But it don't matter. It don't matter.
Well, we appreciate you both. That was great. And also we appreciate your contribution level, your pledge for 2021. So we want to just these comments are everything. So
we know we got a little bit of time, so we want to take some time out.
So we want to look at the comments. So So I'm going back through. We have a happy belated anniversary to yesterday in Kingozi. Right. Beautiful revolutionary couple of comrades.
Who was that to?
I think that was to everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with that. And then Fofi is telling us she's gonna be a granny again.
Oh,
that's definitely that's some love right there. Beautiful. This is powerful. Loves to revolution. Revolutionary love is so beautiful. That's love. Then we got someone said Bakri and Suchis look so good together. I think all of the couples looked really nice together. You know, we had people matching. Yeah, it was nice. What else we had to try?
I said, somebody says, Uhuru, this is a powerful and moving workshop. Who said that? Can we say who said it?
Sure, we could say that.
That was Renee. Renee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, then, yeah, right here. So yesterday mentioned in the chat that they forgot to provide their pledge. So we want to thank yesterday for $100 for a 2020 pledge. Uhuru.
Then somebody said Matsamela got game.
Who was that?
I got game too.
Dr. Fields, Dr. Aisha Fields said that. You got game too?
I got game too.
Bakari and Suchis, we got thank you for your support and your pledge. Yeah, we want to thank all of the couples for their support and their pledges. And you too can give your pledge. You too can donate to this Vanguard Party and to the movement. And we're just asking that you make your pledge by going to apspuhuru.org/pledge. All right, so we could not.
One thing.
Yes.
And if you have any questions about how to pledge, you can go to call us at 727-821-6220, or email at donate@apspuhuru.org.
You got lipstick on.
Oh,
all right. So we could not end this session without
all right, Chairman.
Love the Revolution, without this couple right here.
Oh, they're coming on.
They're coming on. Schoolers.
Oh, wow. This has been like amazing. I mean, all the couples have been extraordinary. And, I really don't know what to say after, Nze and Tachari went up. And then we had the powerful couple of Ijide and Kingozi and Malika and Abdul and Masamela and Michelle and Jesse and Amanda. I mean, like, what can we say that can really add to this? And I could just say that, when you're a young couple coming in, especially, into the movement, is that I'm especially talking to the women, but I think I should be talking to the men as well, is that you have to find your place, in the work. You have to define, what you really want to do. Because I know when I met the chairman, I was thinking, oh man, there's stuff that long, but it wasn't. And I never understood, like, why he was fighting for people that didn't want to be saved, because I didn't understand the whole question of African internationalism and what it really meant. And when I came to understand what this movement was about and what African internationalism was about, it changed my whole perspective. It actually changed my whole life. And then I would start to look at my place in the movement and the work that I was good at, and just tie that into the revolution. So it just really, helped me to define who I am right now as the deputy chair of the African People's Socialist Party. I would have never thought in a million years that I would be this. People, because I'm proud to be an African working class. I was born right up the street from the Uhuru House in St. Petersburg, Florida. And that's the south side of St. Pete. And that was the community that was most oppressed. And I just, and besides, the chairman and I have the same birthday. That was something that gravitated me to him as well. I said, well, if he was born October 9th, the same as me, he's got to be a good man. And he has been more than a good man to me and to every African on this earth and in this planet. He's the greatest leader in the world. And I'm not saying that because I'm married to him, but because it's true. All the work that he's done, these 50 plus years, has solidified his name in the history books forever. And I will forever love him to the day I die. So I don't know what his story might be, but that's what I have to say.
Uhuru. I just want to thank all of your comrades, and some of you people, I know everybody on here, but some of you look just so damn good together. And it's incredible how much better you look together than in some instances how you looked alone. I wanted to just say that part of what has happened is we learn to love. Che Guevara made the statement, as somebody mentioned earlier, that at the risk of sounding ridiculous, I have to say that revolutionaries are motivated by great feelings of love. And part of that is that revolutionaries have learned to see beyond themselves. Revolutionaries can see the whole world. Mm-hmm. We have these pretty immature understanding of what love is, and we write poems sometimes to each other, and we sing love songs and things like that. Somebody referenced Marvin Gaye, the production, reproduction, real life, put on Marvin Gaye. But the thing is that most of us don't see the world. Our scope is so limited that what we call love is so limited. It's constrained, within its very narrow confines. But to become a revolutionary presupposes you see much of the world, much more of the world. And then your ability to love is also extended beyond yourself. And once you can, experience yourself and others like you, then you suffer when the people suffer. And it's not just their suffering, it's not just their love, it's yours as well. And I think that that's what I find so helpful. Malcolm X made a speech, something often he was speaking, and after one speech, he said that tomorrow the colonial media is going to be saying that I was doing hate talk. And he said, this is not hate talk, this is love talk. So I'm talking to you about being free. I'm talking about getting power over your life. That's love talk. That's not hate talk. And that's what we do. That's what we're about. And so the whole concept and question of love is just so much more pronounced because our interest and our commitment is so much greater than it is normally among other people. This woman, Honors Danae Shatella, she's doing now to me what Carmen and Zaya was doing with T'Challa earlier on. This party, anything like that. She had these amazing eyes, you know, and you know, that's what men always look at. and you know, it was kind of captivating, and we became close, and what materialized was her commitment to this party, to this theory, to this philosophy, that it became obvious right away. As soon as she got it without hesitation. There was no half stepping or anything like that. We say, I say, we're going to Africa, she starts packing. You know, it's not a question of how long we're going to be here or anything like that. And when I talk about African internationalism preparing to govern, she starts taking all the documents and underlining and doing everything to put that in place. This is just incredible. This is a real love affair that is, you know, really concentrated and consecrated in making the liberation for our people, for freeing our people. You know, slaves can write, you know, real, what you might call love porn, but if the porn does not involve itself in killing the slave master and destroying slavery, it ain't no real love. And what I'm saying is that this is a real love, and that it revolves around the liberation of our people. And my happiness could never exist if I were not engaged in a struggle for her happiness. And I cannot imagine her happiness without it being as a free and independent person. So I think that we are redefining love. I think what we've seen up to this point in this plenary process with these comrades' professions of revolutionary love sets a whole new template and standard for what love has to mean for us. And as has been mentioned, being a part of the revolution and having these relationships is not easy. It's difficult. And it was mentioned, Comrade Deputy Chair left here to be gone for a week to work in St. Louis, helping to build what became the Black Power Blueprint. And she was there for 2 years. And that's what's necessary sometimes. And it's not easy. We are very intense persons, both of us, so we engage in serious struggle sometimes, and sometimes it's not always obvious that it's political struggle, if you know what I mean. But the thing that is the ability to share this profound love that we have for you, for Africa, for our Africans in which we see ourselves. So I probably didn't do as well as T'Challa did under some gentle prodding. But yeah, this is our commitment.
Yes.
And I don't want to get no lipstick on me.
Okay. I'll do that later. So
promises,
what are you pledging?
Promise.
What are you pledging today?
You tell me.
No.
You always do. What am I pledging?
No, you got your money, I got mine, but no, go ahead.
That's how it works. Okay.
How much you pledging?
Well, I can do 100 a month for a year. I can do 1,200.
You want to do 1,200?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll match you and do the same thing.
Okay.
So Chairman is going to do 1,200 and I'm going to do 1,200 for the year.
All right. Yeah, Chairman, I saw that you were thinking about leaning in for that kiss, but Yeah, that's very, very moving. And we got a quotable from this.
You
It
know he was
says,
taking
a
notes.
slave can write love poems, but if it don't involve killing the slave master, it ain't real love.
Yes.
How
Yes,
beautiful.
it was. And when Chairman's talking, he's like, he's trying to find something to write the quote. Yeah, that was really good, really moving. All of the couples were great. And that motivated us. And we forgot that we need to make our pledges as well.
Yeah. You go. So, tell me what to do.
No, I'm not telling you what to do.
Chairman, you got it right. That's how it goes. All right, so I want to.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm just gonna slide this over so you can read it.
Right. Okay. You mean the one with the circle? Sorry. I'm pledging at the Desi X Woods level. And again, she says, well, Desi Woods was sentenced to 22 years in prison for killing a white man in Georgia with his own gun who attempted to rape her in 1975. This is 3 years before I was born. The attempted rape of Desi Woods was an act of colonial violence targeting all colonized African people. And this is, very apropos because the party is understood, helped to rescue the events that happened around this from, white feminists who attempted to make it about, some women's rights in general, and said that this is a case of colonized African woman facing colonial brutality, and that is part of why we're here today. I mean, even in this discussion, it's that we have to rescue our lives from the grasp of this dominant white society. And that's real love. So I want to donate $240 a year at the Desi X Woods level.
Thank you, Tachara. And if you would like to match Tachara's contribution or any of the contributions that have already been made, again, you can go to apspuhuru.org/pledge to make your 2021 contribution. And I still need to make mine. So I would like to contribute to the Ella Baker level, which is $500 a year. And I really want to read that quote as well. Remember, we are fighting for freedom of the Negro alone, but we are not, fighting for freedom of the Negro alone, but for the freedom of the human spirit, a larger freedom that encompasses all mankind. That's right. So just really want to appreciate everybody. I think this piece, this From Love to Revolution section was amazing. The couples were great. Want to just thank everybody who has contributed so far. And then at this point, we want to invite a couple of people to join us. Who we got?
Who do we have? We got comrades Kitty and Penny. Welcome.
I just want to say I'm so honored and humbled to be here. This has been a beautiful workshop. This has been an incredible second plenary of the 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party. And it is an incredible honor to be here as a white person, as part of the colonizer nation, under the leadership of the African Revolution, as a member of the African People's Solidarity Committee. And again, I salute this beautiful workshop. I salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela, leader of the African nation, and our leadership, and that moving and brilliant political report that was incredible. And I salute Deputy Chair Ona Zane Yeshitela, your office, your incredible leadership and spirit. And I salute the African Socialist International and all the members and leaders of the African People's Socialist Party and the organized African working class all over the world. So Chairman Omali Yeshitela has shown us how capitalism was born on the assault on Africa and this brutal political and economic system of colonialism that turns the whole colonizing nation into a parasite and part of a system drenched in the blood and suffering of African people in order for us to exist and enjoy our lifestyle every day. And what is so beautiful about the African People's Socialist Party is that it is about building and wielding African workers' power. It is about the revolution every single day, power in the hands of the African working class. And the only thing, this is the only thing, as the chairman has said in his political report today, and as he has always said, the only thing that will overturn colonialism is this power in the hands of the African working class and the African revolution, which is for all human beings on this planet. And you know, we can see what the party is doing on the ground in the Black Power Blueprint and so many other institutions. The party enables us as white people to join in a stand of reparations, not as a favor, as the chairman said, not as charity, but to turn the stolen resources back over from whom they were stolen, to return the damage as part of a strategy that ends the system of the oppressor and the oppressed and transforms the whole world. So I'm so honored to pay my reparations today. For 2021, I am giving in this year $2,120, and I unite unconditionally with the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, African Workers' Power, and the African Socialist International. Unity through reparations. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Uhurunze and Chichara, thanks so much for this incredible workshop. I am just filled with revolutionary love. It's been really profound, and just the beauty of the African working class. It gives us the view of the future that African internationalism is paving the way. And I just want to, you know, say that revolutionary love makes me think of the profound and deep love I have for the African People's Socialist Party and for Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who gave me the world, the white world, the science and theory of African internationalism. And for Deputy Chair Onizane Yeshitela, who leads the work at replacing the oppressive colonial structures with African workers' power, like the Black Power Blueprint, and inspiring and leading me and all of us in the Solidarity Committee. We have just profound love. I know that winning reparations from other white people like ourselves gives us the opportunity to rectify the hundreds of years living at the expense of African people, and finally establishing a principled relationship through reparations. This has been the way to end our isolation, and now we can feel part of the human family for the first time. That is a profound gift of revolutionary love. African internationalism gave me the enthusiasm for the future and motivated me to have a child, because in solidarity with the African Revolution, we can craft a future worth living. I have great revolutionary love for APSC Chairwoman Penny Hess, who led the way in solidarity and never gave up, pulled us all through the long years, and for all my comrades in APSC and her solidarity movement. As the chairman has done for the love of humanity, this has been the greatest gift of all. Love for the African Revolution and the fight, the class struggle fight under African internationalism. I'm making my pledge today on a Harriet Tubman level. I'm pledging $2,000 for this year. And I, you know, salute Harriet Tubman, the courage and the fight and the spirit, and want to model her, a hero.
Uhuru. Uhuru, we just want to thank you both for your pledges and for your solidarity and unity. And what both of you said, you know, it's very touching. So just really, really want to appreciate that. And then we want to encourage everybody, you know, everybody who's watching, who's participating. We just want to encourage you to go to apspuhuru.org and make your pledge. Or
nothing wrong with making an investment in our future to be free and self-governing. All right, Siali, what a powerful statement.
Uhuru, thank you, Siali. We have Janine, who is making a 2021 contribution of $640, and Janine left a message as well.
Janine says, the Uhuru movement, under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, is the only way forward for any of us. It is the only way the human race can rid itself of this blood-sucking social system. White people's reparations to African people is a responsibility and a privilege. Long live APSP.
Long live APSP, and thank you, Janine. I think this would be a great time for us to bring back in Chairwoman Penny and Kitty to discuss and talk to us a little bit more about the importance of reparations and how reparations contribute to the building of this new world we're talking about.
And can we say how much we've calculated so far?
Oh,
looks like
so far, so we have I got a calculator.
4,000.
Yeah. I got to calculate to again, and that does not include though the totals that we got from the couples. So we need to calculate that in as well. So we'll be able to get that to you shortly. It's on you, Kitty.
I think Penny just started, but your mic's not on.
Uhuru, wow. Well, our responsibility as members of the African People's Solidarity Committee created by Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the African People's Socialist Party, is to go behind enemy lines and to unleash the stolen resources, to turn it back over to the African Revolution. So the whole existence of white people under the leadership of the African Revolution has started almost a half a century ago when Chairman Omali Yeshitela formed APSC. And it's so clear that there are two Americas, that we are the colonizer nation, that there is a pedestal upon which all white people sit, and that we have social wealth, we have generational wealth, we have inheritances, we have the ability to go to school, to make money, to live in this colonizer nation at the expense of African people and on the stolen land of the indigenous people. That's why we have the resources. That's why we are part of this nation of white nationalism, of colonialism, of imperialism, and capitalism. And so we're calling on white people to recognize that this world is in a horrible mess. This world has been wrecked by imperialism, that any system that is built on attacking and capturing an entire nation of human beings, an entire continent of African human beings, and selling them and turning them into commodities for sale on land where genocide has been committed as a popular stance of white people, and considering in a world that is dominated by colonialism everywhere for the benefit of a tiny minority of the world's population, that system can never be fixed internally. It can only be overturned by the leadership of all those led by the African working class under this pedestal in the foundation of capitalism itself, to turn it over. That's the leadership. And when we look at how the world is today, and we see the crisis of imperialism that the chairman talked about this morning, when we see the conditions that people are suffering, that the African community is suffering, when we see the police murder of George Floyd, that is because there is colonialism inside the borders of the United States. And what do we do about it? The thing that we can do about it is to organize other white people and to turn back over the stolen resources to the African Revolution that is putting its programs on the ground here in St. Louis, the Black Power Blueprint, and all of the 50 institutions of the African People's Socialist Party led by the Office of Deputy Chair. So give now, turn over the resources. We're calling to the white community to do this, be part of a future, not just an observer of this incredible process of an exercise of political power of the African working class that we have the honor of being able to see today. Kitty, just want to turn it over to you.
Uhuru. Thank you. I'm just struck that, there's a goal of $100,000 set today. Sometimes people look at that number, think it's a lot, but many white people make that. Individuals live on that. The average white middle-class family is living on at least $250,000 for a year for like 4 people, and sometimes I think I'm just such an honor to be in this, plenary with members of the party and the Uhuru movement from the continent of Africa. And it just makes me think that they always say, the tech world is centered in Silicon Valley, in Northern California, but the tech world is centered in Congo. That's where the coltan comes from. Those are the Africans. That's the center of the tech world. That is their mineral rights. That is for their generations, but they are in those, mines from childhood on up for whatever, a cup of rice a day, as has been summed up from some of the comrades in Africa in this brutal work to get the coltan stolen off by all kinds of corporations like Apple to benefit Apple, or the Clinton Foundation, or these other really vile, violent corporations. But it infuses, our lives, with all these resources, so that, we have to say Congo is the center of the tech world. And we're such a small population in the world, but we consume half the world's resources. And the majority of African, Mexican, indigenous, and colonized people are living on less than $10 US dollars a day. And the median white family has 41 times more wealth than the median African family. And African people live in the US live in deep colonial conditions of homelessness. Food apartheid is actually what it's really called, not the sanitized food desert, which is the conversational way white people can talk about food. That doesn't mean we have any responsibility in this. 50% of homeless families in the US are African families. And the indigenous people in this country have a lifespan of 42 years, which matches West Africa, which used to be 44 years in Sierra Leone. That's outrageous. We have to find that, we can't tolerate that. And it's not natural. It's not natural. And that's what the chairman sums up. African people don't have the ability to live a natural life because of colonialism. And we do not live under colonialism, no matter what. We do not live under colonialism, but in fact are part of the colonizer nation. That's what we're born into. And as the chairman says, he's taking responsibility to do something about colonialism, and we have to assume responsibility to do something about the fact that we've been the recipient of the stolen resources of African people. So it makes sense. Everything you give back is reparations, and that makes sense, being as we've been on the end of getting all of Africa's resources. And it makes sense that that's the class struggle. And I know you hate the conditions you see the same as I do. And this is the way that we carry out class struggle against US government colonizing capitalism. So give today, go to apspuhuru.org/pledge.
And it's saying go to 727-821-6620 to make a pledge. Uhuru.
All right.
Uhuru. All right. Yeah. So we still want to encourage everybody to make those donations, those contributions, pledges for 2021. We see that they are coming in. So Janice made a 2020 contribution of $2,000.
All right.
All right. Uhuru. We have Allison, who made a contribution of $2,500, and a lot of people left notes and messages. We won't be able to read them all, but we do want to salute everyone. Renee made a contribution of $100. Uhuru Renee. We have Stephanie, who made a contribution of $1,450. Marissa, contribution of $1,000. I saw that in the comments, so we appreciate that. And Trey, you want to read the message from Marissa?
Yeah, Marissa says, Uhuru, victory to the African workers of the world. Long live the African People's Socialist Party and the revolutionary theory and practice of African internationalism.
Uhuru, Marissa. We have Jackson, $60. Uhuru Jackson. We have Dr. Aisha Fields, $120, which is the owner's Zanaya Shatella level. You too can pledge at that level. $120 a year or $10 a month. Okay, quick math. Then we have Leah.
Well, let's go back to
Which one?
Aisha, Dr. Aisha. She left a short message, but she says that we have to contribute resources to our own liberation. And that's the reality. So, you know, we talk about solidarity on one hand, and that's important that white people get on the right side of the question and demonstrate that through material contributions. But we're also calling on all African people, and they're all freedom-loving people, to contribute toward our own liberation. And that's what this is about. Thank you, Dr. Aisha.
Sure, yeah, thank you, Dr. Aisha. We have Leah, who made 2021 pledge of $500. That is the Ella Baker level. We have Uhuru to Leah. We have Kabula, $2,000, which is the Harriet Tubman level.
All right, Kabula.
Kabula. We have Kashana, $60 contribution to her, to Kashana. Thank you very much. And that is the Mustafa Musa Bantu level. And we have Joel. Joel, $500, which again is the Ella Baker level. So just want to appreciate everybody who has contributed so far. Really want to encourage you, if you have not already done so, to contribute your donation as well. And you can do that by going to the website at apspuhuru.org/pledge, or you can call
727-821-6620, 727-821-6620.
Sure. All right. So we are, if you didn't know, Tachara and I, we are here on the grounds in St. Louis, which is the headquarters for the amazing Black Power Blueprint. There is so much going on with the Black Power Blueprint, just from the start here on the grounds to where we are today, just such significant strides. The community involvement, you know, just people knowing and hearing about the work that's being done on West Florissant, the huge flag that's waving. Tachara, can you tell us a little bit about the work that you did with the Black Power Blueprint?
Yeah, as you said, the work is right on the ground here in St. Louis. Deputy Chairman Zanaya Shatella really led this project. As Chairman says, she was away from her home in St. Pete for a couple of years on the ground here, building this incredible project. And it started off with the purchase and renovation of a 9,000 square foot building that had been vacant for nearly a decade. Transformed it into a community center we call the Uhuru House, also a banquet hall, and then with offices on the second and third floor. Right across the street, we demolished 2 buildings that could not be saved and transformed that into a beautiful outdoor market space and farmers market and community garden and event space. So now that people in this neighborhood, where you have just scores of abandoned buildings and no economy, can now have this outdoor market that we usually, if we want to participate in, have to go miles away into another neighborhood to participate in. So we'll have Black farmers and growers. We received a grant to allow us to go throughout the region and recruit Black farmers and growers to be able to sell fresh foods, and then those fresh foods and products can be transformed into finished products. So it's an incredible campaign. We are near the completion of a 4-plex house, which will serve as housing for people who will participate in a workforce program and who are coming home from the colonial prisons. We have also purchased a commercial kitchen, which will also function as a bakery. And this will be where those who have the housing can then learn culinary skills and participate in the workforce program. And there's more. We demolished additional buildings that will function as a health and wellness facility for women. So we are literally controlling about 5 blocks of territory. And we recognize it as liberated territory. We have a 50-foot tall, red, 25 by 15 foot large red, black, and green flag. marking this as liberated territory. We're engaging the people in volunteering, engaging them in political struggles, bringing them with us to go downtown to City Hall to make struggles when the neo-colonial and colonial politicians try to prevent us from moving forward. It's an incredible on-the-ground campaign to build actual power in the lives of Black people on the ground. It's not just, we didn't just write some book about Black power.
Uhuru, we can't hear you. Uhuru. Well, I just want to, I'm sure T'Challa and Nze will be back in just a minute, but I just really want to continue to call on, especially to the white population, to go to apspuhuru.org/pledge and give your pledge, give your reparations today for this incredible program. T'Challa was just talking about all of the projects of Black Power Blueprint. And one of the things that is so important about the African People's Socialist Party is that it is winning. The African Revolution is winning. Wait till you see. And Kitty, you know that of course the African People's Socialist Party is all over the world. We're going to hear reports. We're going to have the honor of being here and seeing reports of the party organization in occupied Tanzania, South Africa, as well as reports on the work in East Africa, West Africa, and growing throughout the continent. We're going to hear from the work in the Caribbean, and we're going to hear about the work of the party and the African Socialist International in Europe as well, from Secretary General Louazy and Bertin and others. I mean, this is a movement. This is what is changing the world, not some white idea of what they think revolution is going to be. The African working class that forcibly created the wealth that we live on is the one that's overturning the system and creating a world. You heard what the chairman said about what a liberated Africa will look like. That's where I want to live, don't you? And we can only do that when we give up all our relationship to US imperialism, when we overturn and do our work that we've been assigned to by the African Revolution to be part of overturning the pedestal upon which colonialism rests, upon which capitalism rests, and all white people sit. So this party, the African People's Socialist Party, is winning. And we have a job as white people, got to go back in there to the white community and rip back those resources and win white people. This is your future, not Trump or Biden or anybody else, not Bernie Sanders. This is our future if we want to be part of a world that is truly liberated and a social and truly socialist, where the African working class has power over their own hands. So go to apspuhuru.org, or you can call 727-821-6620 and give more. Make it be reparations in a real way. Give more than you had budgeted or thought about doing initially. Turn it back over. This is creating a world. This is in our interest. So that, again, you can see this on the screen, apspuhuru.org/pledge, or call people. We have people waiting on the phone at 727-821-6620. Kitty, do you have anything that you wanted to say? Uhuru, and you need to unmute.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the reminder. All right, Uhuru. Oh, I just want to, salute Joel. I heard that name mentioned. It's got to be the Joel we know, who has such a courageous history in the movement. And I really salute you and our comrades on the West Coast. So exciting. The leadership of the party is so exciting. The chairman's political report was so mobilizing to know that the future is being laid out. on how we can absolutely transform this violent social system. And I just want to say that, as the chairman said, the African working class is fighting for power. They're fighting for political power. And we know that collectively we can make our goals for today. And just to say that, because the Uhuru movement is so rooted in the community, that when the colonial virus, as the chairman aptly called it, pandemic, just swept the country, and every single economic entity that deputy chair leads, over 50, everything had to be shut down and closed. It was the power of the people that made the whole last year be everything that Chichara laid out and named for the Black Power Blueprint alone here in St. Louis, where Mr. Gary and members of his family and friends of his built the planter boxes, got the soil, got the hay up in Illinois to put over the grass seed, got the grass seed, and they completely took the spring when everything was shut down and completely seeded, built boxes and planted the vegetable garden, put the trees in that we had gotten donated, put all the plants in and the grasses and the sedges and whatever, you know what I mean? And then they bought other really interesting things and planted the entire One Africa, One Nation marketplace. And it was donors like you, like all of us, new donors, reparations, a progressive foundation, an anonymous donor that allowed the project to keep going as well, demolishing those buildings Chichara talked about that are really half a block away from the Uhuru House and the outdoor venue, was able to start the whole incredible transformation of the 4 apartments of the African Independence Workforce Program housing. This is critical because of the whole mass incarceration of African people that went on from Biden, Clinton, Obama, through Trump, through the whole imperialist machinations that would try to keep down any resistance of the African working class. That's been the most resistant insurgents in this country against US imperialism and colonialism that exist in this country for real material reasons in this world. And so, 2 generations, have been imprisoned and incarcerated. Just one of the apartments being named after someone that was in prison when I joined the movement. He's been in prison. He's in his 80s now, and it's like a cruel punishment. Dare you resist?
We
dare you?
We have some great donations right now that we're just going to read really quick, unless Nzei's back.
Yeah, we're back.
We are back.
Uhuru.
I guess the plenary got too hot for the laptop. So we have more donations that came in. So we want to let you know who those people are. Want to again thank everybody who has already contributed, and then we want to give you a total because I know we all want to know that. So we have Lisa and Dan who donated $5,000. Charlie, you want to read the message?
Yeah, and they say, the African People's Socialist Party is the organization to lead the social system, a world that I want me and my family to live in, a world in which white people do not live at the expense of African, indigenous, and other colonized people. Revolutionary love to the party and reparations now.
Reparations now. So thanks to Lisa and Dan. And then we have Ron, who made a contribution of $60. And he says, salute to the second plenary of the 7th Congress. Thank you, Ron. We have Kyle. Kyle made a 2021 contribution of $300. Uhuru to Kyle. Wendy, contribution of $600. Uhuru to Wendy. Uhuru. Then we have Carmen, 120, and this is from Carmen Alexander, Uhuru.
And Robin.
And Robin, can't forget Robin. And then we have Janet, 120, and Janet left a message.
She says, Uhuru, I stand in solidarity under the leadership of APSP.
Uhuru. All right, Uhuru to Janet. And then we have Raya. Raya, who is up for Comrade of the Year, Raya. And Raya is making a contribution of $365.
That is the Marcus Garvey level.
That is. We have MQ, who is making a contribution of $20. Thank you, MQ. Uhuru. We have Sandra. Sandra's making a contribution of $800, and Sandra left a message.
And Sandra says, I'm proud to pay reparations and to be a member of the Solidarity Front of the party. I never could have seen a future for the world until I met the chairman and the party. Long live victory to the African Revolution. All right.
Long live. Uhuru, Sandra. Uhuru. And then we have Hallie, made a contribution of $120. Lynn, $75. Lynn said, Uhuru, salute the APSP. Oh, that is your job. I'm taking your job.
Uhuru, salute the APSP and the leadership of Chairman O'Malley and Deputy Chair Onazane Ishitella. Reparations now.
Reparations now. You just gonna tell everybody I was taking your job, huh? All right. So Paul contributed $840. Uhuru to Paul. Right on. Matop, Uhuru Matop.
And Matop says, I make my love for the love of the people.
Uhuru and Matop is contributing $100. It's a lot of people out here. You gonna sing? Really? And next we have Opa. Opa's gonna contribute $1,000.
And Opa says, this is the only work to be doing for white people. Appreciate the amazing leadership from the African People's Socialist Party. Revolutionary love and work on the ground will ultimately win.
Opa. And I want to say, so y'all just heard T'Challa sing a little bit. So y'all probably, when he was trying to explain the whole love thing and answering, but sometimes he's just really romantic. Y'all heard him singing. You want to sing some more?
No.
Okay. All right. Next we have Harris and Kristen. They're going to donate $3,000.
$3,000.
We have Fofi, who's going to have another grandbaby. Fofi.
I don't know with who, from who. Maybe Malik.
Son.
Oh, I didn't get. I thought that she was saying that we were going to. One of the couples would give one of the couples. I was thinking maybe Malik and Abdullah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not us. And then, okay, so you done messed me up. So Fofi is going to contribute $120, and Fofi left a message.
I have claimed my Uhuru 2021 from the colonial plantation. Claim myself and forward to African liberation in my lifetime. I will live in a liberated Africa like Chairman described today. Uhuru.
That is so true, Fofi. Just being in a party and being in a movement it gives you an idea of what a liberated Africa and what a liberated world can look like, not just for Africans, but for North Americans as well, and the role that white people play in helping us to forge that. And so I really want to appreciate that comment and that perspective. We have Ruby. You want to read that one, T'Challa?
Yeah, Ruby says, my deepest salute to Chairman Omali Ishitella, DC owner, and the entire APSP, who have exposed the truth of the parasitism of white society and shown that everything white people take for granted, claim to own or create, comes at the expense of African people through the most brutal and inhumane use of violence and unending war.
How much is Ruby going to contribute?
Ruby's going to contribute a small donation of $20,000.
$20,000? Thank you, Ruby.
We're halfway through. Keep pledging and donating.
That's amazing.
Can we tell people where to go?
We can tell people where to go. So it's all in the comments, but we wouldn't be doing our job if we did not tell you. So we want you to contribute as well. And you can go to apspuhuru.org/pledge, or you can call.
And you can call, 727-821-6620.
All right. So let's keep those pledges coming in. We do have $100,000 goal, but we know that we can, with your help, make that goal. So I want to continue with reading some of the pledges. This is exciting. All right, so we have Chia, who made $120 pledge. And Chia left a message.
Saying investing in a liberated future under African leadership is the investment we all need to make. Black Power matters.
Black Power matters. We have Kundai, who's making a pledge of $120. And again, that is the Honest Naya Shatella level. So we just want to encourage everybody to come on in, make your pledge. As you can see, the information that you need is on the screen so that you can make the pledge. And it looks like we have read what we have, and we want to see what that total is.
Right. So the total is, can we get a drum roll?
Yeah, I got it.
Right. We have 79,060.
Woo! That is amazing. Woo! So just in this little bit of time, we are up to $79,000. Please, 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 you can continue to contribute. It looks like we have a couple of more in. Let's see, we have, so we know that Ijade, we read hers already with the $100 for the couples, but then we have Kingozi, he's gonna contribute as well, because we know in the party that, yeah, we gotta pay our own way here, right? Make our own pledges, and Kingozi is gonna contribute $60. So just wanna appreciate